Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of A Healthy Dose of Fran. Today is episode 3 of Avatar month. We've had Aang, we've had Katara, but now we're on to Sokka. And looking at Sokka, there is so much that I could have talked about, but I decided to look at the one thing that I noticed the most with Sokka, and that's how, more often than not, he made mistakes. But instead of letting them define him, he learned from them. So today, we're talking about Sokka and the importance of mistakes. Now, like I said, Sokka had so many things that I could have talked about with him and so many things that were important to him as a character. That's both his background, his leadership abilities, and just so many other things. But I believe that the mistakes aspect of his character was probably the most important thing about him, because like all other characters, he had a huge character growth over the entire series. We see him change so much from the first episode to the last episode. And while he's still a jokester, the fact that he changed so much and changed so much of his own thoughts and philosophy in a way by learning from his original mistakes in those areas is what I think made him a really interesting and dynamic character. So that's why I settled on mistakes as being his defining characteristic. Sokka's mistakes, ironically, were more often than not actually of his own volition. They were often based in the way in which he was raised and how his people, the Southern Water Tribe, had their traditions and way of thinking. So his ideas and the fact that he was at the start incredibly sexist and immature and only really wanted to be a soldier because to be a soldier was to be a man. All of this is tied up into the mistakes that he made, how he was sexist to the women around him. He was condescending to the women around him because of the thoughts in how he grew up and how women were thought of in the tribe. So it was only natural that Sokka would have the same way of thinking. Then with the idea of to be a man you have to be a soldier, again it's tied into that background because all the men are gone. They've all gone off to be men and to be soldiers and to protect. Protecting is the biggest part of being a man, and you can only protect by being a soldier. Hence Sokka's obsession with being a soldier and being able to be with his father in the army. We even see him dressing up and acting like a soldier as a young boy in the flashbacks of what happened to their mother. He attacks the soldiers at maybe 7-8 years old, which is something you wouldn't normally expect of a child to do, except this was the way in which he was raised. However, alongside this want to be a soldier is this idea of leadership, and how throughout the series we see him try to be a leader, even dubbing himself the leader of the group, the idea guy. And this is predominantly tied into his want to be a soldier, to be a man. But throughout his time outside of the Southern Water Tribe, we see so many of his ideas and way of life be challenged, both through his sexism, his immaturity, his want to be a soldier, and his idea of what a leader should be. And in terms of his sexism, no greater case can be seen than with the Kyoshi warriors. As stated, Sokka grew up in a traditional world where men were seen as the warriors and women the homemakers. With the Kyoshi warriors, Sokka's expectations of what women should be are challenged. Originally, upon realising the warriors are women, he is disbelieving of this fact, and when realising the truth, he mocks them, seeing them as lesser to him. However, after being shown up by them, he learns from his actions that this is not the way to act.
Well, let me explain.
Spit it out. What do you want?
I would be honored if you would teach me.
Even if I'm a girl?
I'm sorry if I insulted you earlier. I was wrong.
Here we see Sokka begin to challenge his way of thinking, realising that he has made mistakes in believing that people fit a certain box. And from here we begin to see Sokka's way of thinking continue to be challenged. His idea of a soldier and a leader isn't someone who is living by the kill or be killed code. It is someone who must understand that there are always different ways of thinking. And this is seen in the best example with Jet and the freedom fighters. Now, Sokka is questioning Jet's judgment more often than not because he doesn't trust him. In his gut, he knows there's something wrong. But when he sees Jet unnecessarily attacking an old defensive Fire Nation man, someone who Sokka in the past would have hated with a fiery passion, and here his idea of what a leader and a soldier should be is changed because he himself is feeling this strange sense that this is not right. Something that he would have done in the past, he would have attacked without question. He no longer does. He no longer feels he can do because it just doesn't feel right. And the mistakes of what he believed in the past are changed and rectified with this message because he goes and warns the Fire Nation town that they are in danger. He goes against all of his instincts about hurting the Fire Nation because they are innocent people. They aren't soldiers, they're innocents. And his way of belief changes completely. Yes, he does fall back into the kill or be killed moments here and there, but his strategy minders and his intelligence grows from that moment on. And it's here that we see Sokka develop this strategic and intellectual mind of how to not only defeat the Fire Nation, but also how to save himself and his friends from situations. He is, as I've said, the idea guy of the gang. He knows how to get them out of situations they shouldn't be in. He knows how to save and protect everybody. And this is seen even more so when he realises that, yes, he has grown with strategy and intelligence, but he doesn't know everything. He has seen in the past that he has made mistakes. And the fact that he recognises this is seen in no better example than with Master Pian Dao. Master Pian Dao, although not purely the reason for Sokka's change, helped him to believe in himself. With Pian Dao, Sokka struggled, but in the end proved that he was in fact capable, and in their battle he showed to himself and others that he is strong, intelligent, selfless, and capable of successful leadership and strategy, all in the lead up to his duties on the Day of Black Sun. All of this that he has learned from Master Pian Dao and from himself and from his past experiences all culminate together in this strategic, intellectual, selfless and well-planned Day of Black Sun, where he is basically the leader of an entire army. And what I think is the greatest part of his character is that he does make a mistake in that battle. He stays when he shouldn't have, or at least he believes he shouldn't have, and puts all those soldiers' lives at risk. And the disappointment and the devastation as to what he has done affects him so much that he feels his mistakes. He knows that he makes them. And I think that shows that he has become an incredibly learned man, because for someone to accept that they make mistakes, that they have, and yes, they know they will keep making them because no one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, but to make a mistake and to learn from it is what makes someone truly great. And that's why I believe that the mistakes of Sokka's past is what makes his future the most amazing thing possible, because by the end of the series, Sokka has gone from a sexist, immature, wanted soldier who believed he was meant to be a leader but couldn't get there, to being a selfless, strong, learned man. and I think that's exactly what Sokka deserved. But what do you guys think? Do you agree that Sokka's mistakes are what define him and make him a great character? Or do you think there was something else about him as a character that was more important? Let me know in the comment section down below. In general, guys, me and Boomerang Guy here want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. If you go to the description box down below, you'll find the links to the clips that I used in this video, as well as the links to my Instagram and Patreon, where on Patreon you can get early access to any and all of my videos, as well as have a say as to what comes out in future. Here on YouTube, however, if you guys aren't already subscribed, go to the button down below, click the one popping up here on screen. And we'll check out any of my previous Avatar videos, the playlist will be popping up here, and then my previous Avatar month video will be popping up here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.